Centaur or a Tyranitar on the off lane, and you know you're going to take a whole bunch of damage, all you just do is just grab yourself like a fistful of tangos and just go top lane. That's it. Just go to the off lane with a whole bunch of tangos. You got chip harassment damage. Skywrath Mage will run out of mana before you'll run out of life points. Pretty sure it was Bulba. Could have been Owie. Those two just blended together at one point. We got Silent now with the Quelling Blade, so it will be a core Wraith King and support Mirana and support Earthshaker. Which means your offlaner will of course be Mag. So everything is...
seconds to battle.
I suppose the only thing that really could have switched around here for Team Empire would be the roles that fly. As well as Silent would play. That's the only things that would switch. Oh wow, they got these little creepy treants. It's the eyes that do it for me. Like it's just... It's wooden eyes. It's hollowed eyes. There's no... Yeah! This just feels wrong. Maybe it's just me. Could just be me.
The battle begins.
Alright, so off we run. Aggressive Observer Ward early on. Just keeping tabs of the rotation more than anything else. If you wanted to stop the pull point, then it would have been, well, this type of ward. And if you want to just try and survive in this top lane, it'll be in this one. But he only planted the one which watches the rune. What else we got? We got Jottam, who's actually hovering around the middle lane. I don't know if he's trying to get some extra control. Always want to fly with a haste rune. Okay, that's already pinged down here by Jottam. So, I'm going to ping the fact that he could be running towards that bottom lane. And Seedoy's got to be a little bit careful. There's the Observer Ward that's watching his position, Seedoy. And now he's actually lost. Okay, that's a very stray arrow coming out from Always Wanna Fly. And they might be wondering how the hell he knew about it all, but it's that good movement from a Skywrath Mage. He could have just been up on the top lane trying to harass Mag back, but because Skywrath Mage isn't up here, and they got Mag with boots first. Look, without a stout shield, he's just being so over-aggressive. Running up towards the top. So over-aggressive. Because he knows they can't stop him from farming. What's BZZ going to do? Feast him? And the levels are going to come a lot faster for Mag than they are for the Lifestealer. So Lifestealer won't have Rage, Feast, as well as Open Wounds all at the one time. Like, it's going to, like, not for a while. Even with its Orb of Venom, because the boots are first over on the Centaur. Jottam's coming towards the top lane, but with all the farm Mag's got, now he's got boots and a stout shield. He's burned through a large amount of his consumables already, but maybe solo, yeah, he can just share him a tango. With the creep pull over, they've managed to drag, well, only 2 dire creeps down. But the Earthshaker dropping fissures, that's one way to steal some CS solo. You got 1 for 0 and also 69 points of experience. While Mag cracks his level 3. Bottom lane Seedoy. Hellfire Blast. Arrow still available here, but with the treants on the other side, Seedoy's got no other choice but to TP himself back to base. He can pick up a TP scroll, but if they're able to keep this lane throttled, as in keep that creep wave to look. Wait, where the hell are you going? Oh god. Scandal is chasing the kill over on the Dragon Knight. This should be first blood right now. He's got Exalt with builds with boots first, so he had the movement speed as well as the damage to get the kill. So Team Empire will claim the first blood in this game, as opposed to Virtus.Pro, who got it in game number 1. More fishing arrows. Really trying to use that fog of war there. Always want to fly. Also interesting to note too, well, it's going to be difficult to catch out some of these supports anyway. Because you just look over, it's like Jottam, yeah, catching him out with arrows is going to be very, very difficult. This guy plays Mirana so much that it's very, very simple for him to read where you're going to be moving as a Mirana. And Scandal, not really looking that great with that. Whoops. My bad. Started to have a closer look over towards the CS and miss up on the top. Well, Fly. Sunstrike coming down to that bottom lane. You needed to get a little bit more DPS into Seedoy there for that Sunstrike to be effective. There's the Invoker CS I was looking to check out. So 15-2 up against God, who's picked up 13-2. So very, very even here in the middle lane. It's just the fact that Invoker has managed to pick himself up 1 kill. And that was the solo one over on the DK. So CS-wise, equal. As far as levels-wise, obviously the Invoker is going to have the upper hand. Seedoy moving down just at the right time. Silent doesn't have enough mana to keep this up. This lane 2 is got boots as well as the gloves of haste. You can still build into a hand of minus on this one. A lot of Wraith Kings that really prefer to do that. Fake and fissure, fake and fissure, fake and fissure. That's gonna be always when I'm flying with the haste rune. Got scouted out by a little treant, but that's okay. Just means it's very difficult to surprise somebody. But he's coming to the bottom lane again. Sees how far Seedoy is out. He's still low on life, but going to try and use it from behind the tree line. Hellfire Blast, and the arrow will connect the Sunstrike. It's only if Seedoy walks back. Looks like it was still in the area of effect. So Mirana will claim the last hit here on the bottom lane. And Team Empire now 3-0. Now this is more like the controlling Empire. I think a lot of people were betting their res on. And Scandal's got a little bit more help around the corner. Solo waiting in the tree line. Just forgot to come a little bit too far forward. Then they throw Fissure. Then they throw Arrow. You can combine it up with a Cold Snap. God still needs to be on the other side of the creeps, however. Like, they can't have like this melee creep that's just standing here blocking the arrow path. Or else there's just no joy for a kill. But they're going to find joy. Okay, he's out too far again. The Yoshi gets the first one in, which means the Fissure will be able to connect. There's no hiding inside your Sprout here, Seedoy. May not have mana for a stun, but it doesn't even matter. Like, Fissure, there goes the Fissure. Sunstrike, Seedoy walks into it, and they just gave an extra kill to the Invoker in the middle lane. So you talk about going ahead of minus on the Invoker, is definitely coming now. And Silent actually builds into treads, so we're going to go for a fighting build coming out from the Wraith King. Potentially armor, potentially drums. So there's a lot of other options here. And Mag. Oh, the Prophet. That's a ballsy TP right now. Seedoy, they try to go on it, but the Fissure, then also the Cold Snap with the Sunstrike. God will evaporate, and Seedoy will go with him. Jotham's trying to slow him down right now, but there's a Fissure in 5 seconds time, which will 100% kill off Seedoy here. Mag, well, he's not going to get close enough, but then again, Jotham's still turning around this one. Yol comes in, there's your Fissure for the kill. Always on a flight, not enough to let off an arrow, but he gets some physical damage into Yol. Scandal's here as well with the Cold Snap. No mana for a Fissure again. And the rest of Empire, that orb damage with the shock, that may be enough. No, 47 life points. He'll survive. So 6-0 and Team Empire able to bail themselves out. They get the counter initiation out. It was a really ballsy TP to come in from a Prophet. You're TPing into a blind spot, which he tried to open up by summoning the Treants here. But you have no vision of anyone moving up this direction. And with the two support heroes moving in, looking for the counter gank over onto the DK. Well, not even counter gank, just the initiating gank to the DK. They found themselves in a really, really bad position. So now it's 2,000 gold going the way of Empire and over 3k in the experience. And what's the trade-off? BZZ's farming up on the top lane. We're rushing Armlet over on BZZ. I doubt it's a Helm of the Dominator. It's like Solo's got to soak up a little bit of the experience up here, but Mag's also on his way. Doesn't have level 6 on the Centaur, yep. And things are going to get a lot rougher for VP once he does reach that. And it's only going to be a couple more creep kills before he's there. And maybe that's the reason why Solo's just backing himself up a little bit more. Means the experience goes directly into the Centaur. Wraith King's level 8 too, so he has no fear on this bottom lane. No one can drain his mana out, so Nature's Prophet's nowhere near having... Okay, Arrow, middle lane, hits on God. Sunstrike, Cold Snap, not required. The Starfall from Always Gonna Fly is up at level 2. So they get a very quick and efficient pick off on the DK. We'll say bottom lane too, Jotham's getting pounded. Sunstrike, well, it's already been used, but with that high movement speed coming out, you hear that ultimate from Mag, and gave the ability for Silent just to dive in underneath that Skywrath Mage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Scandal's going to force this tier 1 tower in the middle lane. It's only got one Forge Spirit right now. Looks like it's only a... Well, either he lost one because he's already got 4-4. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Forge Spirit should still be summoning up at that point. Gonna watch it. Maybe he'll summon a new set right now. No, he's got 2. Yeah, he's got 2. I'm tripping. Can't see the extra purple dots on the screen. Solo and Centaur smoked up for this middle lane as Shadow Shaman. Connection problems in for VP, so Yol underneath his own tower. He's in a very, very safe area. But he's going to need a TP towards that middle lane shortly. Oh, they're going to have a very dead god. Yeah. So in the meantime, we'll slow everything down. Should also realize too, well, we got like spam filters away. Okay. Look over towards the chat, and things are going a little bit too heavy. The spam. Hey, I think I even have a button that can stop this. Whoops. Nope, nope, nope. I just turned off slow mode. What did I do? I'm sorry, mods. I'm sorry, I shouldn't play with buttons I don't know. Oh wow! I can't believe there's actually that much spam when there's when there was actually slow mode on as well. Good to see everyone's out in full force this evening. Reminder as well, there's going to be a nice little article over on Join Dota about this later on. But we will be having giveaways tonight as part of our new thing about giving more back to the people who support us right here on the Twitch live stream, as well as Join Dota in general. So for people who use our website, we're trying to find some extra stuff for you. For the people who watch here on Twitch, we're going to be giving away rares. The details and how we do it, it's just very, very simple. It's going to be a raffle on our Twitch chat. But you need to be able to be subscribed, or else you will not be able to sign yourself up for these giveaways. But yes, it will be a cool thing for all the people who do subscribe and support us. We've also got something else coming. It's going to happen very, very shortly as well. So we'll find some time to make it happen. And it's going to be a consistent thing as well. A casually consistent thing here for the live stream. But again, only for the subscribers. So, yeah. Man, those Russians are strong. Those Russians are strong. Oy, oy, oy. Alright, so we still actually have our Shadow Shaman DC'd out for now. Let's have a bit of an overview of our items while we've got some moments. So we've got an 8.5 minute Midas over on the Invoker. Alright, we're gonna... Yep. Alright, so we got 8.5 minute Midas over on the Invoker. We got an Earthshaker who really doesn't have a hell of a lot. We're 8.5 minutes in though, and he's got 900 gold. So that's enough for solo. That allows him to keep buying up these extra consumables, which he requires. And you've got like a couple of other things. Like if he wants his arcane boots to rush, he can do so. With the rate of this game going to, he could even just jump himself straight into a blink dagger if that's what his heart desires. As far as mag goes, tranquil boots to start with for a centaur. He could go into the mech for his team. In this game, I don't know if you actually want the mech build over on the Invoker, or if you just want the centaur to build it. Because having a blink dagger in this game is probably going to be a hell of a lot better. And again, needed at a good time, because it's mainly to catch out their Nature's Prophet. That's the primary goal right now, the Centaur. Make sure that Prophet has no space to move across the map and feels very, very scared to move across the map. That's going to be your two goals right there. Yeah. But as far as VP goes, by the way, if you're wondering what happened with Yol, we actually had ourselves like a 10-minute delay starting our game tonight. And the main reason was Yol's power actually just went off. We had no idea what the hell happened, so his power just disconnected for no apparent reason. So I assume the same thing has happened to him again. It only took him 5 minutes to get his power back up again, so hopefully everything can advance quite nicely. Okay. Alright, as far as the rest of them go, everything's pretty standard for an 8-minute game. We can't read too much into it all. Shadow Shaman, like boots and nothing but consumables. Never really a great thing for him, but he's approaching level 6. So that's not too bad. Nature's Prophet, Mr. Face Boots, only 8 minutes and 33 seconds in. His dreams of a Midas are literally just that. It's just going to be dreams. And then you got like DK, treads, and still just a basic stick with a bottle. You expect him to have a lot more, but you also expect him to have more damage dealt towards that mid tower. And that's probably where that mid gank kind of set him back a little bit more. The fact that he did trigger off his dragon form to try and go for the kill in the middle lane with a Prophet TP in, which means he's basically lost one full duration of his dragon form, where he probably wanted to have like damage just being chipped away at that mid tower. So it wasn't possible. And DK is going to probably be regretting using his dragon form for that, but he needed to. Without it, he couldn't have done the dragon tail stun over on the Invoker, and the gank would have 100% not worked. But Yeah, a little bit of vision goes a long way for that one. And as far as the life stealer goes, like this is like a mystery, man. BZZ, tagged up as 633. It's just been farming on this top lane non-stop. 51 for 17. I believe his CS is almost the highest on the board. He's only being outdone by the Wraith King right now. But Wraith King's also got solo kills, which puts him well ahead, even 2 assists to his name. But you're going to try and rush up an armlet. Now, what is the armlet really going to do for you? You got so much control coming your way. Now, none of this control will actually go through his rage. And that's kind of what makes the Lifestealer a really good pickup. But once the rage is down, you're going to have arrows, cold snaps, forward spirits. Even the forward spirits, well, like, the negative armor is still going to be affecting you if you're ranged up. And same with the physical DPS coming out from the Wraith King. It's just the Hellfire Blast, the fissures, the arrows, the cold snaps, and the hoof stomps you don't have to worry about when you're inside that rage. But your immunity time right now is only 4 seconds, and maximum 6 seconds. And you can be guaranteed that this lineup of Team Empire will survive longer than 6 seconds to follow you down and hunt you.
Middle tower is under attack.
Alright, so back into the live world. Mags are going to come in towards the mid. Smoke's going to break, and they see him already. The visual actually keep Jot of Mount. Oh, Mag! He's looked in by that one. God has to trigger his Dragon Form to get open this one. The Fission, not in the right place, but there's no stun. He's already used it, but Mag, he tried to play with fire, then and TP himself out. The arrow came in from the Mirana to try and also buy some extra space, but Mag will still go down. Didn't really lose a lot for that one, apart from giving the kill over. The first one for VP as well. And they also got a Dragon Form to get halfway through its duration. And VP know what they need. They would have had themselves a moment just to talk amongst themselves, and they know they need map control. Fortification's being used right now. Silent can't force this bottom lane faster. You went for Hand of Midas to start with, so there's not really that great of pushing powers like if he had an Armored or something. And looks like Solo. A little bit of trouble. Centaur ulti. He's still going to get Dragon Tail stunned up. Mag, he's actually going to wait for the rage to wear off, and then with the Hellfire Blast, the Earthshaker will still go down right now. And Cedo TPing in, they'll use Moonlight Shadow as we'll split everything up. Shadow Shaman still destroyed the tower. The Hellfire Blast into the DK with also the Sunstrike. There's a lot of burst damage going into God. While the Invoker is searching for Cedo, he's run himself all the way down the mid. Always want to fly. He's got another arrow available. The Shadow Shaman, however, doing the smart thing, y'all. Running high as opposed to low. But that's Lifestealer as well as DK going down for an Earthshaker on the top lane. There was no buybacks needed. The tier 1 tower did go the way of Virtus.Pro, so that is an upside. And considering the state of the game right now, I think they'll be happy with that result. They're not going to be ecstatic by no means. That's still not a good trade-off for them. But considering what could have happened, it's a lot better. And Cedoy, he is still going to go for Recovery Minus. Casual Glove as well as 800 gold on him. He'll give a couple of trees in this bottom lane. It's only 2 points up in that Nature's Call. Actually leveling his TP over leveling his Nature's Call. So the pushing power isn't really there. Also, shout out to Nahaz. He's attempting to do stats for us, but it seems like Volvo broke his stats. Poor man. Alright, so Mag is now another 1,000 gold away from his Blink Dagger. I'm watching this very closely because that's when VP's life gets harder. And Wraith King, he's about to crack his level 2 ultimate as well. After managing to farm up 1,600 gold. Which means that Armlet shouldn't be far away. Could even buy the Helm of Iron Will right now if he wants to. But he could also build into something else. The Helm of Iron, like, Armlet's still going to be his best choice in this game. Even with the potential control coming out from VP, he could go straight into a BKB. Like, that's another option for Silent. But having the strength rate of Fight's probably be better. The arrow, or with the Observer, what is scouting him out. Cedo is looking for just a gank. He's got the Lifestealer infested inside of him. So they can go anywhere they want to on this map. But they're going to catch somebody out first. Yol on the top lane. If he walks closer right now, Mag could just solo him out. And yep, sees him. Centaur ulti, ringer, Rosie. Yol's going to miss him. Hoof stomp. Ah, he got the shackles off. Prophet with the Lifestealer jump out too. Never got the hoof stomp off. The shackle will follow up. Moonlight Shadow will protect Mag, however. And who brought any dust? No one brought the pixie dust. Mag will retreat under the cover of the support ulti. The Mirana Moonlight Shadow. And that's what we're getting from the Wraith King. It's a Blink Dagger. Well, throw strength to the wind and just jump in to die. The Blink Dagger initiation into a reincarnation. There's one hell of a way to get yourself some kills. And they're trying to use the Invoker on the bottom lane to bait it out, but they're not going to. And Silent now will have to reveal his Blink Dagger. Let's put him towards the front lines. I think he might also getting a little itchy with that hand of Midas of his. Wanted to use it. Arrow close to Jotum. Silent, Blink, Hellfire Blast. And with the Earthshaker Fissure, they get a very, very quick pick-off. Unless this Fissure doesn't block Silent's way back up again. And it goes 11 for 1, 13-minute sim. We've had two rather one-sided games so far today. And both swinging completely different tangents. They're just probably attempting to push out this mid. That's an Earthshaker Fissure. Wow, again, to Shadow Shaman get caught out. Earthshaker could let the sun off. Cedo is actually running up high. This is a weird place to run to with a Blink Dagger already over on Solo. Didn't even need to throw the Fissure. It was just a totem stomp. Looks like Wraith King's actually given away his own life on this bottom lane. Now it was a twice over to do that too, but he bought his Blink Dagger before he ended up dying. So no real money or timing of items being lost here for Team Empire. And it still becomes like a 2-for-1 trade-off. And the fact you've got DK, man, he's died 4 times in this game. Got 5,000 net worth on the Lifestealer and 4.1k on the DK. But there's still 3k off the top of Team Empire, which is the 8,000 net worth, or 8.1 and increasing fast. Net worth for the Invoker. And he's the man running around with Necro units. Are they really? Are they going to smoke it and try and go for Roshan here now? Is there any kind of scouting? The Observer wards were down in the corners, and while Jotum walks up towards the high ground, he's just poking outside to see if anyone's coming close. Empire are none the wiser. They don't know what's going on. God will walk down. Actually, no, he doesn't walk down far enough to get... Yeah, okay, there you go. The pings are coming out saying, yo guys, I think they're in, and yeah, you'll be right. He gets the Immortal into the hands of the Lifestealer. And 21 life points. I was waiting for a Fishing Sunstrike to come from Scandal as well. Normally, Invokers are very much on top of scouting out the pit, either with their Forged Spirits or with the Sunstrikes. And VP was able to get one past Empire. Empire was also in no position to get there. The TP to the tier 1 tower probably would have been enough for Silent though. But always want to fly. And the real support. Arcane Boots Mirana. He's mainly getting those Arcanes for Silent. Silent and Earthshaker. Earthshaker going Blink Dagger first. He's going to need that extra mana. Silent just TP out. Into the trees and TP. He does have Blink Dagger available, however. And up, whoop, there she goes. But Yol's waiting for him. Moonlight Shadow. This time they bring the Pixie Dust. Silent shackled up. He doesn't have Reincarnation, and DK will get the kill. Cedo also TPing in. Solo is right behind him now. The arrow's flying up, and Cedo walked into it. The Sunstrike's perfect target with the Fissure, and Hoof Stomp on the double. Speaking of double, the edge was done. 2 for the price of 1. Open wounds, but Magnus lets his ulti off, and now they can go to BZZ. He does have Rage available. He have to trigger it or infest into this Radiant Creep Wave. Actually infest into the Radiant Creep Wave. Solo will wait for him. The arrow still having a bit more of a look up. Is he ever going to come out? There's a large amount of Necro units here. And they can deny their own creep shortly, but now BZZ. Mana burn, they trigger the Aegis, the Immortal. Gods use his Dragon Form. But these Necro units are still on the front lines. There's more support. Cedo actually coming in for the tree line. The Sunstrike. Well, BZZ's Rage will let him tank that one up while he actually feasts on the life points of Solo. And they just brought with that very aggro TP. It's very ROTK stylish. TP will give his life over. The Invoker also did manage to finish off the Lifestealer in the day. Silent, blinking himself forward. Yol not in range for the Hellfire Blast. Now he is, but the Mass Serpent Maw trap is perfect. They're going to cut Silent out of this one. He does actually have Reincarnation. Me a little bit further down. God being double-edged. Mag, get yourself out of there, man. So they did get Silent out without having to trigger his Reincarnation. So 4 heroes last year for Virtus.Pro. No buybacks required by Team Empire. The Invoker had to pick up another kill. He's 7 for 0 Scandal on this Invoker. Now hitting a level 3 Necro book with an extra Mystic Staff, so he's going to have a 4-star shortly. Silent. Well, BZZ can try and kill him off here. He can at least burn through the Reincarnation. There's lags coming out from the Invoker. Might have actually been on the Wraith King as well, but he blinked himself away. There's no lag for that movement.
Under attack.
And you get himself away to safety. But that's still 160 seconds without having your ultimate as the Wraith King. Not the greatest feeling in the world. Solo will stop the push on bottom lane, but then again, okay. Smoke broken. Sunstrike's coming in. A little bit off target, however, but Sidoi is locked in here, and that's why you see Solo moving in. The arrow is too high! And the totem stop, he couldn't get close enough. The trees were blocking him too much. He couldn't get in, like, up close and personal with the Sprout. Observer Ward movement from Yol was just scouted out too by the observers and sentries over here. Just up a fresh one to get rid of his vision. Whoops! Someone didn't stay up on the hill. And I was gonna fly, we'll have to take it out.
Visibility.
It's a little bit of a miss arrow coming out from the Mirana. If Prophet was a little bit further up instead of his own Sprout, then potentially the arrow could have connected. But it doesn't in this scenario.
Thanks.
4 of them together underneath that observer ward, they saw it. That's why Solo's moving up so aggressively. Silent fly.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Perfect arrow. Hellfire Blast, Sunstrike as well. They're going to bring down the DK before he can really do anything. And then, well, Massive Wards are in nice position. Solo copying a little bit too much damage after John was able to get the seal over on him. The dust also revealing Solo, but cannot keep this Skywrath Mage alive. I wouldn't be surprised if Empire soon just, well, they're playing a split push game, but they're losing so much.
Thanks you.
And they can just fight the backdoor regeneration. They got Forge Spirits coming in.
Dire's top
Enough
tower
life
is
points
under
they can do
attack.
this. The tier 2 tower is being forced by
Dire's
BZZ,
structures
but
are fortified.
it's still a straight trade-off. Well, hello TP. Silent. Doesn't have an ultimate. Can't Hellfire Blast Lifestealer either. We're just hoping for a couple more crits then to try and bring down that Lifestealer.
Radiant's top tower
But it's just
is under
tower traits.
attack.
Empire are just so farmed right now. And there's no real good answer coming their way. We don't have like a wonderful combo. There's no jump in with the Lifestealer, which you think is going to like evaporate everybody. It's like a Blink Dagger on Yol might be able to go a long way, but he's a long way off that too. The BKB for the TK will let him stand to a point during the team fights, but by the time he's finished at the physical DPS output of Team Empire, there's going to be enough they'll just melt through that DK. Because what else we got coming? The armlet's already up for Sun. If he decides to combo this and builds into something like a Desolator, for example, very early damage and an easy way to strip through that armor of the DK. The Invoker is actually has finished a 4-star and has extra 1,000 gold. Will deny his tier 1 tower in bottom lane.
Bottom tower has been denied.
The Centaur building his own 4-staff. At least that's the assumption with the Staff of Wizardry. And assumption is correct. It's a 4-staff for Mag. Maybe he doesn't have as much confidence in Solo's fishes. One way to get over the rock wall. All teammates buy a 4-staff. That way Solo can just throw whatever fissure he wants to. It also means his initiation ranges and follow-up range is also really, really good for Mag. So yeah, you blink. Centaur ulti. Yes, the Hoof Stomp wants to slow down Cedo to start with. The arrow will never even reach it. The Earthshaker is the man to get the kill with the fissure. The Sunstrike damage from a scanner was also doing some heavy lifting. And the tier 2 tower, man, Silent, very, very aggressively moving around. Just in the terrain line. It is, of course, nighttime, so there's not a lot of vision for Team Empire, but the same can be said about Virtus.Pro. The tower was the main thing giving him the vision. But without having to trigger your Necro units, you get a pick off on the Prophet, so there's no major split push. And I'm not going to be counting BZZ forcing the top lane while desperately trying to finish his Basher. This is just them going high ground. Necro units in 12 seconds. The Force Spirits can do the extra work. Jottam stunned up for now. Oh, they lost the courier. Y'all's doing some backdooring on the mid-tier 1. Well, that could do a job. So the tier 1 tower will go down in mid.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
But it's the middle lane they're looking at. Silent. 4-staff down. His armlet toggling as this Wraith King, however. He's got reincarnation too. So it's okay with that. Courier, I think they just realized it was going on a straight path back, so it had to be diverted. And Team Empire won't get high ground. They never triggered the Necro units either. Yeah, they're losing out in the trades. If they can get a pick off on Cedo, then it's worth it. No 4-staff on Solo, but the Centaur ulti will allow him to catch up. This will allow for a totem. Okay, he just uses Echo Slam. Into Totem Stop and the damage from the double edge will get the kill. But there's still a tier 2 and a tier 1 tower claimed by Virtus.Pro within the last minute. So, injection of money. What can they buy with this? Really? Using Sunstrike to push? Okay, so what do we got? What do we got? Necro Book? Okay, that's a level 1 Necro Book purchased up by Profit. It's actually better not to spawn those things. They give more than they take. The Shadow Shaman, he's got his Arcane Boots at least, but a little bit off having that Blink Dagger. The Badger is completed on Lifestealer with buyback available. Jotamans his Arcane Boots. And then that just leaves our Lifestealer, our DK, who completes his entire BKB, but has no buyback available. So BZZ the front lines. Totem Stomp never going to come in time, but the physical DPS will be enough. BZZ has to infest into that range creep for the Radiant side. And with the Prophet Ultimate bouncing around, he knew he didn't have long in there. The Necro already did the work. Silent, perfect hit over on the DK. Follow-up arrow. He's happy to have his reincarnation trigger with a Hoof Stomp over to BZZ. Might actually be able to life leech out enough. And he stays alive here. The buyback will come from the Lifestealer, but they will lose their mid-ranks. With the Moonlight Shadow to protect him. A fissure hit onto the Lifestealer to take the mid-ranks. They can only go for the bottom rank. Silent. Be careful with your armlet toggling. Try and just steal a little bit more life points to survive, and then Hellfire Blast is a good rage by BZZ. Which means Reincarnation will go. A Blink Hoof Stomp over on Yol will ensure the death of the Shadow Shaman. With the Starfall to follow up, if they can get themselves another pick off here without losing a hero Team Empire, they could technically just rotate themselves to the bottom. Especially if that hero pick off is BZZ. They smoke, and they turn. A classic maneuver, I like to call it, the Rock's Kiss. Oh, the Centaur Hoof Stomp not in time. BZZ, quick on the rage. Never even turned his armor on when he did that too. Just straight to the rage. That bottom tier 3 tower is getting chipped away. This is the reason why VP doesn't really get out of this game just yet. They know maybe Profit could save their hides here. So to a level 2 Necro Book. Looks like San's going to force the top tower, however. He's also hit level 16, so will be a very, very happy chappy once he's capable of having that reincarnation back off cooldown. Solo, Fissure. Blinks away, the orb will follow me, he's stuck in the trees. 4 staff down by Always Wanna Fly. The Sunstrike, where's it headed? Right towards the Skywrath Mage. Now Mag trying to use his ultimate to get himself out of this one. Remember, he's a very tanky Centaur, and Solo, Echo slams in. Hellfire Blast onto the DK. The future follow-up was just to make sure the Shadow Shaman wasn't going to go anywhere. And with 3 heroes down, this is what I'm talking about. You win a semi-fight, the Hoof Stomp, coming a little bit too late. BZZ are able to get that rage up again, and Mag is getting body blocked up and bashed, in fact, by the Lifestealer. But Lifestealer is inside these Radiant Creeps, makes the most healthiest of the Radiant Creeps that's here.
Radiant's bottom tower has been denied.
Tier 3 tower might be down for now. Now Lifestealer can pop out. We got BTs and 4 staff being afforded. And BZZ Hellfire Blast will connect this time around. And the follow-up chain stuns from Solo. This time it will not miss. And 1 full minute the Lifestealer is on the sidelines. So that'll be the tier 2 tower 100% on the top lane. And as far as the bottom lane, well, I say 100%, Sun didn't move up there straight away. It's not forcing the issue just yet. But the bottom lane, it'll allow Team Empire to regain some level of control here. The middle lane's already got the control. It's Super Seismic Creeps pushing down the mid, so they're good to go there. There's that top lane push. What else we got coming up? A Hyperstorm now in for Silent, as well as a BKB. So we'll see Assault Cuirass being built up for the Wraith King. If it was going to be a Mjolnir, he would have built the Maelstrom first, just to increase the damage and his own attack speed anyway. Having the Hyperstone doesn't help him out as much, like, unless you're just going for the AC. And right now, him dying is actually is helpful. Sunstrike scatting. They see that Roshan's being done, which means we have Mag with a Blink Dagger to Hoof Stomp and a very, very tight area. There's your Blink Dagger. Hoof Stomp out, 4 staff up so he gets out. Deafening Blast, almost pushing Sidoi up on top of the hill, while Solo chasing down Jotam. He's outside the Mystic Flare, not to mention it's another double edge, and VP locked inside the pip will die as they try and retreat back out again. We'll have their mass open wards farmed up. Roshan killed by the Radiant, picked up by the Earthshaker, will be the Aegis the Immortal. And with 3 heroes down, well, they could push in through top, but really, they can just go GG. There's no reason why they cannot. Especially if they can get a pick off on BZZ, which they won't. They'll go for the tier 3 tower bottom lane. So safety first, Empire after game number 1. I was already talking before about like how mentally Team Empire could have had some troubles after what VP did them in game number 1. And this may be a bit of a, yeah, they call GG. They've lost too many of their core heroes. And it's just Team Empire trying to force VP to say it, as opposed just to have it done, which is when you take out the tier 4s and take the Fortress. So Game number 2 will go the way here of Team Empire, which means we have our game number 3 final deciding matchup. The details I was talking about as far as what we'll be having coming onto the Join Dota stream. Check joindota.com in a couple of moments' time. I'm going to put our article live. You can also check out the details for the ESL 1 qualifiers.